Hello, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds for your Leeds versus Derby County review. 2-0. Easy peasy, innit? Good night. Absolutely. One of the easiest performances we'll have to put in this season for me. Derby County offered very, very little. Very, very poor side. A shadow of what they used to be. When we had that season under Lampard when it was a very interesting season. But yeah, very, very poor. Leeds don't have to get out of second gear for a lot of these mid to low sides this season. Ellen Road, especially away from home, is a different story, I suppose. And we'll see how we go at the end of December when we play Derby, won't we? So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I was at the game today, and in my in the last final pint, I predicted a 5-0. It were quite evident today. You could see even when we, before we scored the first goal, but even at 2-0 up half time, I had a feeling it wasn't going to be 5 as I was at the game. Before I was really confident that we'd put a bit of a statement win out, and I feel like we did, just in a different sort of manner. Like I say, I really thought we'd spank them today, and we just sort of did what I think I'm going to stop tipping anything above a 3-0 now, because it leads his way. They go a couple of goals up and they really do just relax and take the foot off the gas. And to be fair, am I that bothered? Probably not. It was, an easy win. Didn't have to push yourself too hard. And it's 3 points at the end of the day. It's one of those games where you take it and you move on, don't you? Let's get into some comments. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Top Banana, Danny, smash a like. Yes, please do. Mark Sutherland, evening. Hey up, school. Hope you well, mate. Evening, Suvy. Hope you well. Yeah, 100%. I'll start with him, Danny. Rothwell, man at match. I think they give it to Rodon, didn't they? I don't know if that what Leeds man at match or Sky when I'm not too sure, to be fair. But yeah, I thought Rothwell were absolutely outstanding. I'm running out of things to say about Rothwell. I know Tanaka seems to get a lot of limelight. He tends to get man at match most games, does Tanaka, and you know what you're going to get from him. But I think everyone knows what Rothwell does. He's definitely not underrated. Everyone really rates Rothwell, but I feel like he sometimes goes a little bit under Tanaka's radar. But I've called it a few times this season. I've called Rothwell the better of the two in maybe 2 or 3 games where Tanaka's maybe outshone him to the majority. But today, Rothwell was just head and shoulders the best player on pitch for me. Absolutely outstanding. This player he's just sensational. You know, the way his passing's just so crisp, always on the front foot. Never have to break stride. It's always in front of man for him to run onto. His variation of passing. He can pass with his left foot, right foot. He was dropping deep today, and you saw a bit of him and Tanaka were sort of rotating that role. You know, there were a couple of times Rothwell fell back into between centre halves and started the play. And Tanaka pushed a bit forward and had a couple of shots on goal as well. Did Tanaka there, which is great to see. I don't think we're too far off seeing one of these two grab a goal. To be fair, I think it's coming. I don't think we've had a centre mid score since that second leg in where Grueff scored that free kick against Norwich, and I don't think we're going to have same tail this season. I think one of these two are close to getting on score sheet, and they deserve it. But yeah, going back to Rothwell, just even his set pieces today, like his set pieces were unreal. I mean, that first half, he was delivering them, bang onto centre penalty spot every single time, and Rodon should have scored that first header. I feel like he maybe missighted. He came over defender's head last second maybe, but he should be scoring that one. But that war Rothwell all night is it what best caught that it was the best delivery of a corner I've seen for years at Ellen Road this season tonight. But it was unbelievable, like the way every single. I mean, second half that wind was even worse. That second half, he had to sort of like rather than curl it in, or it was sort of just pinpointing, like jabbing it into area, and second half, and he was just putting it into a place, and it sort of delivered on every single corner today. Every single corner, he beat his first man, and he just gave us an opportunity to attack. And Rodon, like I say, he attacked 2 of them, and unfortunately missed first one. Second one was just, he couldn't miss really. He couldn't miss 2 like that, but his delivery of set pieces is so good, and you're seeing a bit of an upturn in performance now when it comes to those set pieces. I mean, we got one other week where it ricocheted in it, and Pedro put it away. we've gone, what were it, 20 odd, 30 odd games on a run before where we hadn't scored. Might be more than that, a corner. And today we get another one. And I want to see that one. I don't want to see one when it ricochets and someone like a Strout puts it away or a Pinot puts it away while it's on floor. I want to see a centre half go and smash it with his head. And it was brilliant today for Rodon. I get his first goal in English football. I think he scored last season in France, but that's his first goal ever in England. So you can see what it meant to him as well. But yeah, I just feel like Rothwell's delivery of those corners and those set pieces, it just gives us another way of scoring, something we've not had in years. When you've got someone who can actually take a dead ball situation like that and put it in the area he wants to put it in, 8 or 9 times out of 10, it's just gonna. You think if Leeds starts scoring corners like on a regular basis, for me, league's done. Like, I've got these worries and doubts about away form, and one of my doubts and worries is the lack of corners we score, the lack of dirty goals we score, rough goals. When it goes in off someone's arse or goes in from a scruffy. And we saw 2 of them today. Really, that second one were well worked, but it falls to Vober after a bit of a ricochet where Dan James misses it and he just buries it. And, we always try and score the pretty goal, the beautiful goal, pass, left, right, constantly working the ball to a good position to get a shot off. And it was so good today in dogged weather, awful weather, that we scored 2 goals today. We normally don't score, I'm made up with that, absolutely made up with that. Let's have a look at some of your comments because they're coming in thick and fast. Sky gave road on. Yeah, I thought he did, Danny. I thought I saw a picture. And I thought Solomon had another good game. Yeah, Solomon did, mate. 100%. Rothwell, number 10 when Hampton's back. This is something I'm sort of coming to a conclusion with. You all know I've quite fancied one of these so-called wingers playing in 10 at some point, but you can see today Farke don't fancy any of them, which I find hard to believe because I think Ramazani, Nonto and Solomon could all play in 10 and do a better job than Amundsen, in my opinion. Not off the ball, no, but I think we don't really need someone who works as hard off the ball at home in home games, especially, because we have a lot of ball. I mean, what do we have today? What percentage? Nearly 70% again. Usual story. But yeah, I honestly, I feel Rothwell or Tanaka could potentially play in that 10, or he might even potentially take Amundsen out, bring Ampadu in and go 4-3-3, which I think could work brilliant. And then just have maybe Rothwell pushing up a little bit further of the 3. I think that'd work. I think a 4-3-3 would be outstanding with this side. I really do. Evening, easy. Hope you're right, mate. Evening, mate. I call Rothwell our captain. It frustrates me when fans talk about Ampadu walking back in the team. Yeah, I think it's just one of the things where you just expect it of Farke, don't you? It's one of his faults a little bit. I'd say, he's got his favourites and they'll pick him regardless. And I feel like he will walk back into the team, but I don't feel like now. A couple of weeks ago, and I agree, he shouldn't move any of them out of the team when they're playing this well. I feel like it might even be Amundsen who comes out. I don't see how you can drop Rothwell or Tanaka. I genuinely don't. I've been saying it for weeks. How do you drop him? But I've always felt he will. Now I'm not too sure. It's crazy he's back so soon. He's Ampadu, a great team on bench today. Unbelievable. Although I don't think he was ever going to be used. It was a nice lift for him to be, get his cheer from fans running up and down, warming up. And yeah, I mean, I've heard some people say, why would he on bench if he were never going to get minutes? He's taking the spot up there where a youngster could have played like Charlie Crew. But, his bench was stacked anyway. Gullivoga always going to come in. It was going to be bloody mass load of injuries to worry about. Not being able to bring Ampadu on in that. You had Vober on there who can play at centre half as well before he came on for Firpo. And obviously you've got Gullivoga who can play there and in middle. So I think it was a right call. It's a bit of a lift for fans as well after the poor away day at Blackburn to see Ampadu named on bench. It's a massive lift for club for everyone, having your captain back on bench. So yeah, he's gonna take a few weeks, I think, to get back in swing of it. Easy, but it's gonna be interesting to see what Farke does. But this is why he's paid big bucks in it. He's got these decisions to make. I thought Solomon was poor the first 30. I thought the first 15-20 minutes we were all a little bit. They were all a little bit slow. That there weren't much tempo to the passing, and I tipped a 5-0. I tipped us to come out of blocks and hammer them, and we didn't come out of the blocks at all. So I don't think it was just Solomon, because I actually think Solomon played really well, but I don't think in that first 15-20 minutes any of them really particularly played well. Top banana. It was one of them where Derby were trying to make it a nervy atmosphere, and fortunately, we did get that goal, but it was. it took a while to get going today, I'll be honest. And like I say, I thought Solomon grew into the game, and I think by half time he was flying, to be honest. But yeah, I'll say first 20, they were all a little bit lackluster, and I was worried, to be honest. But like I say, you just got to get that first goal, and you just nullify anything they've got them, because they don't want to come out and play. They don't. And we saw with Derby today, they still had no impetus to come out and play, even at 1-0 or 2-0 down. Schoolboy says, I actually didn't take food or gas in second half. Probably should have. The first goal was a bit soft. Marker is smaller, losing him, then doesn't jump. Second was a nice little move, even though mate, poor defending by them. They got the warning with the first one, didn't they? When Rodon put it wide, which he should have scored that one. But I think he just come over the defender's head, didn't it? That first one, and he didn't see it till late, but still, it seemed harder to miss than it to hit the target. But yeah, poor defending for that second one, especially. Just it wasn't long after that first miss, and that second one, it was a lovely move. It really was. Like I say, I feel like it's one of those goals we don't normally score. Ricocheted and it falls to a man and we smash it in. They're the sort of goals you get when you, when you're other sides. Really, Leeds don't tend to get these goals. We always try and work it into a good situation to score a pretty perfect goal. And it was nice today. We got that little bit of luck, a ricochet, and it fell to right man. Who would have thought it'd been Voba? Who would have thought we'd have said a sentence somewhat along the lines of Aronson crosses it in and Voba puts it away this time last year? Like, fair enough. I mean, I thought Voba, I did a video the other day saying I think he's going to go in January, and I wasn't bothered about him going. Today I saw a player that wants to be at Leeds. I really did, and I thought he played really well. I've got my reservations about what if he can do it against a better side like Borough. Can he do that getting up and getting back? Because he can't really turn that well. It turns like the Titanic, but in terms of when we've got the ball and we're playing against a poor side and we're going to have 70% that ball, I think he's a great option out there. I thought he played really well. I was so mad up that, because when you see Firpo go off holding his hamstring when there were no one near him, and it's a bit of a worry. But yeah, I thought Voba did really well. I'm really happy with him. New left back, Firpo, exactly, Danny, exactly. Like I say, can he do it against Borough though? I'm having nightmares about the last Borough game. It was the one game I wouldn't have wanted him to come back in for, but he played really well. Rodon took it away well, and yeah, it was a decent ball. Yeah, mate, he did. It really did. Honestly, the delivery at ball what meant today. The really was is set piece. You've got to keep him in team just for that alone. I mean, when Ampadu comes back, if you take Raffle out of the team, you've just took your set piece taker out of the team, and then we're back to square one again. We'll try James. We'll try Ramazani, or we'll try, and you just need to stick to, same person delivering it, and they'll improve. And the patterns of movement in box will all improve because I know where he's going to stick it. And I feel like for that alone, even if he weren't as good, technically as he is, just the fact that he can deliver a good set piece, which is something we've not had in ages, is worth his place in that side. And like I say, the fact that he's right up to Tanaka's arse most games for man at matches, Rothwell, is outstanding. Got a great engine on him. He doesn't tend to finish full 90. I don't know if that's because he looks like he's lagging. I'm not too sure. Or if Farker just, he's the one who'll always take off rather than Tanaka. It's like Tanaka's his Ampadu in terms of he'll always play the 90. If he's going to take anyone off, it'd be Gruev, like it is Rothwell. But it's not our away form. It's our tactics away. Whatever it is, it needs sorting, doesn't it? Whatever it is. I can't really put my finger on what it is away from home, mate, but I can't even look at an away game now and think it's going to be 3 points. Playing Preston should hammer them. If that's at that Preston game next weekend, if that's at home, I'm tipping a 3 or 4-0. The fact it's away, I'm quite nervous about it. But got Borough first, haven't we? Luckily, that's at home because that'd be a scary fixture if that were away on Tuesday. I thought Brendan was better today, not hugely better, but better. Yeah, he was better. He was better, mate. It's still. I don't even want to criticise anyone because we've all seen it on. If you see me on Joe's show, I haven't criticising him. It's somehow turned into this thing that I'm criticising him and say, really. It's just you have conversations about who played well and who didn't play well, and he's sort of the one who. I like Aronson, but I think I like other players more. So I'm always going to think of the offensive side of, if we had someone else playing there, how dangerous they'd look and how they'd do. But he had an up and down game for me. I mean, he was involved in winning corner for first goal, and then obviously he crossed the ball in the ricochet to Voba. So he was involved really in both goals today. But he also had, he had a couple of shots as well on one on target, keeper saved, a couple were blocked. Overall, I thought he lost the ball quite a lot. Didn't offer as much threat really, in terms of, chances on goal. He gets in some really good areas because of his movement. It's one of them. He's really good off the ball, but I want to see more from him when he's got the ball. That's my thing with Brendan. But yeah, he didn't play bad today, mate. But he's still probably the one that I think out of that offensive unit looks probably the worst, even though he didn't play poorly. I thought Ampadu was on bench to remind the midfielders near the back. Yeah, maybe, mate. Yeah. It's great competition in it. They'll be looking over. They'll definitely be looking over their shoulders 100% because no one will know what Farker's going to do. The what I spoke about, the Farker ain't going to go and say, "Oh, I'm thinking of this, thinking of that." They'll all be guessing. He'll want to keep them all guessing. Rothwell, you've seen performances like that today. That's probably because Ampadu's on bench. Tanaka, same. They know when he comes back, they potentially could lose a shirt. 100% one of them could lose a shirt. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realise one of their positions under threat. He might tweak it. He might take Emerson out. Who knows what he might do? But it's definitely in the thought process, isn't it? 100%. The price for Warburton road on the score. Yeah, I've seen that. Mental, but they'll probably never do it again. Is Wober forgiven now? I don't know, Fergal, mate. I couldn't answer that. From my point of view, I've not really got a massive issue with him in terms of what he did last season. I wasn't a massive fan when he were here anyway. I thought he was okay in Prem. I thought he was a bit overrated. No, we went a run in Prem, didn't we, where we didn't concede in like maybe 7 or 8 games, or when he were on the field or something like that. And he stood out, quite well in it. But I think it was a poor side anyway that year, which I'm pretty sure you'd all agree with. But yeah, it's one of them, mate. I mainly were taken out of it that I didn't feel like he wanted to be here. Forgetting about last year, just this year, I felt like when he's an Austrian international, he ain't gonna want to be on bench in Championship. Who'd have thought? He'd have backed himself to play, and he ain't getting nowhere near if it's a fully fit team. But I tell you, after seeing that today, he looked like he wanted to be at me. He really did. A little bit cynics out there will say, "Oh, he's just trying to play himself in for a move." Not bother what he does if he can. He could have a running team now. Let's be fair. He's out of position, yeah. But in games like that, when we've got the lion's share of possession, he ain't going to be running backwards much. Middlesbrough will be a different animal. But while ever Byram's out, Firpo's out, they're going to go with him over Schmidt. He don't fancy Schmidt, I don't think, at all. He's going to go with Verber. Best thing about having Verber in the team as well, he's a threat from set pieces. He's another centre half. He's another 6 foot plus in box. Defending set pieces, try to score set pieces. Oh, pardon me. It's just going to make us more of a threat, which is brilliant. So I'm all for it at the minute. I think Middlesbrough will be very tough for him. Very tough. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. He's going to have a running team now, so fair play. But no, like I say, it's forgiven for me to a degree. Does he want to be here? We'll see. I'm hoping he can back it up with another good, couple of performances. Like I say, he's going to get a run now. We'll find out, won't we? Fergal will find out. Well, we can do set pieces as well, as far as that. Mate, he's I think in previous clubs he's took free kicks and penalties and that. I think he's a bit like Strauch like that. He's got a decent left foot as well, but he really has. Well, but he's professional and an international, he's a good player. Yeah, 100%, mate. Like I say, he lacks pace for me. He doesn't turn too well, but I saw something from it today that I just didn't think were there, and it was hunger and desire to wear that shirt. Genuinely, I'll made up by how I played today. I'll backtrack a little bit and just say, like, maybe I jumped gun a bit too early. I don't know. Did I think he'd come in at left back and play so well? No, I can't believe how he played. Like a centre forward at times tonight. Today, sorry, it was unbelievable. Like, fair play to him. Fair play to him. I can't speak highly enough of his performance today. I thought he played really well. But like I say, it was a derby. He got to temper expectations a little bit. It'll be a totally different game against Middlesbrough, and then I'll judge the Middlesbrough because I assume he'll start now. The Middlesbrough game is where I want to see something similar, but it'll be a totally different type of game. He's going to have to do a lot of defending in that game. Robert's out of position on the left, but one bad game and we'll be hammered. Well, that's it. And it's coming into the Middlesbrough game. That's going to be his test, isn't it? Everyone's already thinking, got PTSD about that first Middlesbrough game because he was poor. He was so poor in that Middlesbrough game. And the problem with that is, because that's all we've had to judge him on all season, that's all I've thought about, and that's what most fans have thought about. And it's just ironic that it's fallen now where his next start, after that start, is probably going to be Middlesbrough at home again. But the context of that performance, everyone were bad that day. One just wore, but everybody were turgid that day. I think they just found out before they're going out, Rutter were potentially going. And their heads were all over the place. But it's just ironic how we're playing them again. He's played there a few times for other clubs and country, yeah. Easy. I don't fear any team in this league. We were the best team in the league last season, and it's the same this season. Nobody convinced me otherwise. 100%. Your problem's always been the manager on it, easy. Your problem's always been we've got the best players, the best team. It's whether the manager can deliver with this team. But yeah, it's like a foregone conclusion now. Every home game we're going to win 2-0, isn't it? Like every home game now, I expect to win, and I think that. I mean, I don't know if anyone in chat were there today, but it's atmosphere again. You know, it's like everybody just expects to win, so it's just really quiet. Really quiet. Not that I'm complaining. I enjoy it. It's my little break away from reality going to Welland Road, and I love going there. But yeah, it's just put your feet up time. That we feel it as fans. You can see the players are doing it on the pitch as well, which I want to be entertained. I want more goals. I'm greedy, but it is what it is. And let's be fair. We'll take that on Tuesday. We'll take a 2-0 on Tuesday, 100%. 100%. Yeah, 2 free shots. Didn't he, Wilbur? From outside the box. Couldn't the goal. I don't mind that. Philip never does that. Not many of them do. Yeah, he did, mate. He had a couple of cracks. I mean, he scored with his right foot, which were great. And then, yeah, he had a couple of shots. I love that. We have so many players who don't shoot. I mean, look at Aronson. He had a couple of ones today. That one in box where he had it for 8. He seemed to have it for an eternity, and he ended up passing it and went to nothing. Like, he shot today, Wilbur. He had a couple of cracks and fair play to him. I want to see that. That's how you get ricochets. That's how you get these goals going that, Ipswich's were scoring late on last season and other teams, we tend to not get these goals. So shots from outside box, goals from corners, scruffy balls, ricocheting and falling at right man in right place and score. I'm all for it. But Annie is slow centre back. He will be able to defend better. I agree, but what's that say? Sorry, I agree, but we need to be more consistent to win the league. Yeah, the consistency is hard when you're not winning away from home, innit? If every game were at home, mate, we'd probably win it now and not concede another goal. I'm gonna say, but not lose another game. Probably, to be fair, if every game from now to end of the season were at home, unfortunately, you play 50% away and 50% at home, and while Levy is away form, 1 win in 2 months, it's always going to be a worry. So, luckily we've got Middlesbrough at home because that would be a scary game to be playing on Tuesday. But yeah, we need to put a consistent run together. We've got the consistency now at home. I think that's 6 wins in a row. 1 goal conceded, I think, in 6 or 7 home games or something ridiculous. You can see that momentum building now, that fortress now, like we had last season. It's built. It's only going one way. I don't see anyone coming to Welland Road and beating us this season now. Burnley did it and they were crap. I just don't see that happening again now. I feel like we're a better side now than we were against Burnley. We can control games and stifle games and play the game we want, more than we did against Burnley. And I feel like we are creating enough to win games now. Whereas early in the season, you could argue, like the Burnley game, and there's been others, we've struggled to create gilt-edged chances. But I'd say we're good for a couple of them now every game. And when you only at Elland Road, we just need to score 1 goal, win with 1 game. 19 games played now, so it's 10 yellows for a suspension. Good to know, mate. Good to know. Rodon got through it then, did he? Rodon actually. How many games did anyone know? How many games did Rodon get through on 4 yellows? He played about 8 games or something on 4 yellows as a centre half and not get suspended. Mint that. Is that why? Yeah, that's why you don't think he started him. Yeah, play him in a free. Yeah, he could do, mate. Play Vober in a free. That's why he plays for Austria. He plays left side of a free, doesn't he? Agreed, Danny. It was one of our better players in the Premier League. Just leaving makes me dislike him. Yeah, honestly, fan base is so split. You could hear murmurings today when he come on. It stands. He wasn't too bad. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like that. I remember when I went to pre-season game against Valencia, and he got some right stick. Iman Harrison got booed. But yeah, there weren't much booing about today, to be fair to him, and there weren't certainly when he scored. But it's one of them. You pay your money. You've got your opinion. If you want to boo, boo. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? I aren't really bothered or offended. He's a Premier League footballer. So in the waiting, should I say? He will be a Premier League footballer if he stays. He's been a Premier League footballer. He's a top professional. Is Wober. A bit of booing. Will it bother him? Maybe. He'll just get on with it. And the best way to overcome any animosity with any sort of fans is to do your business on pitch. And I tell you what, I didn't think he could play that well going forward. I know it with Derby, but I didn't realise he was as good going forward as what he is. He hasn't really got much pace yet. He was overlapping. He was underlapping. He did really well. I'm made up for him. Absolutely made up for him. Whether I like him or not really is beside the point. I'm made up for him. But I know it's down to the tactics. We mostly start away games too cautiously. I agree with that, Danny. Yeah, he did look a little bit unfit, didn't he, against Middlesbrough? He definitely looks a lot better now, a lot slicker. Like I said, he didn't seem as slow today as he did against Middlesbrough first game. So maybe you're onto something there. Do I think he's quick enough, agile enough to go up and down that left hand side? No, he ain't going to be able to do it as good as Firpo. He isn't. Say we're lucky that majority of the time we hold the ball, so he'll be able to play quite high. It's in those transitional moments, like against the Middlesbrough, who are really good transitionally. If we lose ball, a couple of passes and they'll be in on us, and he probably hasn't got that in his locker. So while ever Firpo's out, Strout's going to have to really cover him. Which I think he can do that job. Can Strouk? He can do a job or two when he's a man mountain Virgil van Strouk, as Joe calls him. I hope Darren, thanks for popping in. Darren, Stoopy Baker. I thought Rothwell was superb today. Not only his general play, but his delivery at set pieces in that win was impeccable. I've touched on that already, Darren. He's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, I think the conditions today were the worst I've seen in a while, to be fair. In that first half, he would hitting that penalty spot every time with those crosses. How long's it been since we've had someone who can do that? And then that second half, they'll play the wind were in their favour in the second half, but it were really hard to get an accurate pass. Whether we were playing in open play or from delivering it, it was sort of just stabbing the ball and like just pinging it in, and whether he's curling it, pinging it in, floating it in, he were getting it pretty much where he wanted it all the time, and he were giving us our attacking players something to actually go and head, and that's where you see Road on today. It will mean. Like, I'm all for scoring loads of goals and playing fancy football, but today it were a weird one because weather was so bad, and we scored a header from a corner, and Voba comes on and does that. It's like a different way to win, is what I'll say. It's like I was pleased to see a different way to win. We know we can turn it on, and because I say smash teams, we've not really took anyone to cleaners as such in terms of scoreline, but we've had 3s and 4s, and that's brilliant. But it was really good today to see, like, a different performance. Dug in. Yeah, they didn't often out Derby, but that was a game there when you look at conditions and you look at how poor Derby are, and that first 20, 25 minutes, you're thinking, they're making it, they could make it difficult for us here to create much. And then you go and score a set piece, which we don't normally do. Start scoring set pieces, we're going to make these games against a low block, a mid block, games what you're expected to win, and you're struggling that opening half an hour. Start scoring corners, and we're away. We'll piss this league if we start scoring corners. I'll take second now as long as we go up. Nah, I want to win title, me. I won't take out. I want to win title, me. It's from the Sunderland game. Yeah, Scooby. Singapore noodles, grab a pack of pickled onion monster munch and a packet of chocolate biscuits. I'm training on it. Yeah. What's it say? Top banana. People say win at home, draw away. Actually means home form not good enough away. We have 13 points from 9 games. Yeah, it's like I say, and until we put a run together, it's always going to be a question mark in it. Like I say, I'm happy Burrows away. Burrows at home on Tuesday. So happy that's at home. I want to get a bit of consistent form away from home before we got to any big boys like that. And luckily we have got some good games coming up. Preston, Stoke, Derby. I think is next 3 away ones. I think, which is on paper 9 points. In reality, probably not. But it's an opportunity to put some sort of run together, and we need that consistency away. Like I say, I think when you add it up, you win all your own games and you draw all your away games. On average, you're going to get your 9 points and go up. But we've already dropped 3-4 points at home this season. We're probably going to drop a couple more. I don't think we're going to lose at home, but we might get a draw or 2. We definitely need to win a couple, back to back away from home, and that'll be meant that starting with Preston, because we lost to Preston. That's what I mean. We look at it, people are saying, we'll smash Preston and we'll smash Stoke and we'll smash Derby. Like, we lost away at Preston and Stoke last season. Like, we lost them games, and they were shocks then. You can't ever count your chickens before they've hatched, and you never know. But I honestly couldn't even tell you why the form's so different away from home. I don't know if it's because the home team have more impetus and they play a bit more, but then that should open up and make it easier for us. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you. It's got to be a mentality thing. How many times do we see it? We couldn't win a game in London, and that used to do my Sweden. But all of a sudden, you start thinking there is something in it. You can't win lunchtime kickoffs, and you can't win in your third kit or your away kit or loads of these hoodoos. And you think after you laugh about it, then after 2 months for it, it just goes on. You're thinking, is there something in this? And yeah, I don't know. The away games, it's got to be a mentality thing because the quality is still there. But I'll tell you what, can I just say something about that bench today? That bench today has to be the best bench there's ever been in Championship. Like, on paper, looking at a bench. I mean, remember that bench we had when we got promoted under Bielsa? Like, kids. And I know we've had a few kids on it this season, but that bench today has to be the best bench in Championship history. That was phenomenal. Ampadu, Ramazani, Nonto, Joseph, Bamford, Vober, Schmidt, Darlow. Come on. Fucking hell. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a bench. Could Byron be back for Brugge? Mate, I hope so. You know I love Byron. Absolutely love Byron. If he was, probably not now because he's injured, you'd probably go with Vober anyway, wouldn't you? But if Byron were fit and Vober were fit, I'd still go Byron at left back, even though I love Vober today, even though I loved him today, I'd still go Byron. But even if he is back for Borough, you'd imagine, because he came out injured, Danny, you'd imagine it's going to be Vober anyway, wouldn't you? But yeah, I hope he's back. What you don't want is just rely on Vober for full, length of time Firpo's out. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. It pulled up with his hamstring. I think Firpo, that I don't think it's a massive injury in terms of months, but I assume hamstring, it could be 3, 4, 5 weeks, depending how severe it is. I guess when it a strain, as he pulled it, I don't know. He walked off and then hobbled off, but hopefully one of them where he's felt it and then gone off before he's twanged it. So we'll have to see. I'm sure we'll hear some in coming days, but hopefully he felt it sort of tweaking and went off before it got any worse, because Firpo really, you could argue, should he have brought him back into starting lineup? I don't know. Should he come straight back in? I suppose if Byron wouldn't have been injured, I'd have liked Firpo to have after his suspension, I'd have liked Firpo to have a little bit of time off me, a little bit of time out and win his shirt back. But because of the injuries, he hasn't been able, to do that. But he had a bit of a knock, didn't he? And he were a doubt for this game. I don't think it was an hamstring injury, but it was a doubt. And then he played. I don't know if that was the right decision from Farker or what. It might not, like I say, injury might not be linked, and that's fair enough. But yeah, I think a few of us said, we expected maybe Vober or Schmidt, one of them to start over Firpo. I was impressed to see Firpo playing happy, but maybe in hindsight, when you look back now, was it the right decision? I don't know. Turns out Farker knows the game far better than a hot-headed, emotional fan like me. I'd have brought Schmidt on. But clearly, I was wrong. Yeah, I'm the same. I want to see what Schmidt can do. What's point in signing him if he's just never going to get a game? He's played in Europe, you know what I mean, and he can't get a game for us. But I'll see what we make. But yeah, he needs to start getting game time at some point. I just don't think he sees him as a left back. He's come on for us on left wing. I think he's played right wing. He's played centre mid. We all thought he was a wing back. Maybe he can fill in there. I don't know. But yeah, he's either not fit, Farker couldn't trust him, or he's just not a wing back. We've seen what he can do when he came on wing, and he looked a hell of a player, to be fair. But it's just another depth. It's crazy depth we've got. You've got someone like Schmidt, who's probably not going to play many minutes. Someone like Gilavogi, who's probably not going to play many minutes. How good are them two? They'd probably start for anybody else in league, bar maybe us, Sheffield United. They'd probably start for any other team. Unbelievable depth. Danny says, smash a like and subscribe, please. Share with your family and friends for this up-and-coming Leeds content creator. Great lad, great. Oh, thanks, Danny, mate. Much appreciate that. Yeah, listen to Danny. He knows what he's talking about. Thanks, Danny, mate. Schmidt not ready for that long yet. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not, mate. But when's he ever going to be ready? He doesn't even seem like he's ready for 5 minutes, does he? So 90 is a bit of a mad one. But yeah, I'd like to see him get some minutes. He's not really getting much, is he? But bless him. Danny Green. Good to see defenders scoring today. Having versatility in goal scorers is important, especially if attacking players get cancelled out. Couldn't have said any better. We've got goals all over this season. I know as centre mids haven't chipped in with any yet, but you can already see the difference in last season of how threatening they look. And they're not getting goals and assists, those two, but they're getting a lot, quite a few pre-assists. Obviously, Rothwell gets the assist today from the corner. They just look so much more threatening, don't we, with them two playing. And I stand corrected if I'm wrong with this, but I'm sure every single defender scored for us this season. Firpo scored, Bogle scored, Rodon scored, Strout scored, Vober scored, Byram scored. All as defenders scored. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I'm sure they've all scored. All as wingers, I think may have scored now as well. Yeah, they've all scored. Pirro scored, Joseph scored. Let's be fair, bar them two midfielders, the ball chipped in with goals. And you know what I love, Danny? I love that in a game where the weather's poor, poor that weather today. Awful. That wind was awful. Perfect conditions if you're Derby, because you're just going to nullify all the quality that Leeds have because the weather's just so bad. Perfect. And did it even affect us? No. Just next, bring them on, bring Butter on. You know what I mean? It did not matter about the weather today because we scored in two totally different ways to what we normally do. We normally try and score that perfect goal, and today it was so nice to see us win ugly. Really, you know, 2 goals that Leeds don't normally score. That corner, mate. I was absolutely buzzing with scoring from a corner, and it wasn't just a ricocheted bounce around. It would actually cross it, head it, goal. As easy as that. As easy as every other team makes it look in football, and Leeds just don't do it. I was fucking mad up. That there was better than a 40-yard screamer for me today. That's exactly what I want to see. Leeds start scoring corners regularly, and rest of the league are fucked out, let's be honest. Middlesbrough will probably be quite comfortable. They're not that good. You know what, it is easy. I don't think any of their players get in our side. I like Latte Laugh, don't get me wrong. I think he'd been minting our team, but I don't really think any of their players get in our side. I think the manager, he plays a really attractive brand of football. The philosophy he has as a manager will see him. I think he's been linked with West Ham job. I think he probably sees this season out with Middlesbrough because, you know, they might do something in his eyes, and he moves on. I expect Carrick to be in Premier in the next couple of years. I really do. I feel like, you know, owners will look at his philosophy, look at his the way he's going in his career, his trajectory, and they'll tip him to have a good career, and I think he will. And he's got his players playing, and we know, like we had with Bielsa, you know, you don't have to have quality players across that side. You just need to have a plan and all pull in the right direction and have a good philosophy and a good way of playing football. And they've got that with Carrick. And we saw in that League Cup, and you know what it is? I think I'm a bit mentally scarred by that. I was there at that game, and I haven't felt like that against a meek opposition. You know, we've all been at games when a Chelsea or a Scum or a Man City or a Liverpool have put a few passes and you felt, or a Tottenham and been like, all right, okay, golfing quality. It's been a while since the side, you know, at the very best on par that game in a League Cup game or below our level, which I would obviously say they are, have come to Ellen Road and done that to us. It doesn't happen. So I'm a bit scarred by that, and it does worry me. And the way they play, it's just caution to win. They just go for it, the Borough. Do I think we'll win? I mean, my prediction for that game is 3-1 Leeds. But me saying we'll concede a goal is massive because I never tip us at home to concede a goal at all. I tip 3s and 4s to nil every home game. But I think they're good to the point. I'll give them credit. They'll score. I think Middlesbrough will score. But I think it'll be a mint game, and I can't wait. It's going to be such an entertaining game because it should be end to end. But if we can control the majority of the ball, then you know we're on to a winner there. But it's going to be interesting to see because they're not as good as people are making out. They're not as good as everyone's sort of looking at it going, oh, Borough. I think it's just because when you look at that 5 or 6 fixtures, they're the one that stand out as a team that, you know, they've been putting 5 and 6 past teams, haven't they? So they stand out as a dangerous side, but they're not that consistent. You know, they went on a good run. I think they scored 13 goals in 2 games, but then they lost, didn't they? So, you know, it's not in their arsenal that they're going to go on a 5, 6, 7 game run. And, you know, I think people are tipping them for autos. I think that's crazy. They're going maybe a shooing for playoffs at a push, but I feel like, you know, the consistency isn't always there. But on the day, easy, and that's what I mean. If they come and they play well on their day, they can score a couple of goals at Ellen Road, 100%. And then we've got a game on, haven't we? Then we've got a game on, easy or good. Yeah, I think they're good. I don't think they're brilliant. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's probably going to be a tougher game than what we got off Sheffield United. Tougher game than what we got off Burnley, yeah, albeit we lost that game. But this will probably be the toughest game we've had at Ellen Road this season. I would say, in my opinion, I think they'll come and play. Can't drop over the next game. Nah, they won't do, mate. They won't do. He's earned his shirt for next game. Like I say, we'll have to see. I prefer Bynum, obviously. I love Bynum, but he ain't going to come back in, especially after a knock, even if he is fit. It could be 2 weeks. Yeah, I know, mate. If it's gone, it could be months and months, I know. But I also know it could just be a few weeks if it ain't gone and it's just like he's felt it. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, he ain't gone off on a stretcher, has he? Also, I don't think it's going to be long term, but hopefully it's short term and not short to medium. But a few weeks, you can probably, you know, cope without him. If you're going into months, then, well, January's round corner, minute they might have to look at something, but hopefully it's not that bad. So our Sheffield and Sunderland, and look what we did to them. Yeah, I know. Well, Sheffield, what, you know, easy performance. Problem is, right, if a team comes to Ellen Road, I think this season and tries to sit behind ball, I know Burnley did it, but I feel like we've learned. I feel like we're a better side this season, and we know I will get over the line against these teams. So you can come into a low block. You know, last season there were games where it frustrated me. I know, you know, we finished third last season. We had a great home record. But I feel like last season were a lot more frustrating than this season, in my opinion. You know, that side to side, crowd getting restless. I don't feel like it's that no more. Now it's more boring because we've just got all the ball and it's just easy. But we are creating more. We are trying to score. I think we had 16 shots today. Yeah, I think 6 on target or 18 shots. That ain't boring football. They are trying to score more goals. But yeah, I feel like if you're going to come to Welling Road like Sheffield United didn't, you've got to play your own style. If Sheffield United try to go toe-to-toe with us, they might have had more of a chance at getting on score sheet. I mean, they came at that game and they put Shackleton at right back. You know, they took Raksaki out and put him on bench. I mean, what are you doing in that? What are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing? You're giving us far too much credit there. If I'm a Sheffield United fan, I'm fuming at that. I think Middlesbrough will do that. I don't think Middlesbrough are going to come and do a Sheffield United and tweak the side and take play. I think you're going to see Luke Ayling bombing down right side, putting balls in. You're going to see an open game and fair play. And hopefully it goes in our favour and we spank them. Hopefully that's the case. But if they play their own game, that's what they should do. And for me, I always say attack's the best form of defence. So if that's what you're good at, and let's be fair, Middlesbrough are good at scoring goals. That's minute scoring goals. So just go score goals. Just go play the game. It's going to be hard to break us down. We're phenomenal in defence. We don't concede goals. But if they come and tweak it and try and sit back and be someone they're not, like Sheffield United did, they'll get spanked up. They will. We might have had goals from centre mid. They're willing to shoot. Yeah, we might not have had goals. Yeah, 100%, mate. So you saw Tanaka with a decent drive from distance today. Yeah, straight down keeper's throat. But these shots, mate, you know, a ricocheted, a parry from keeper, and it falls to someone for the tapping. So they keep shooting, they're going to come. You know, we're getting assists now from corners from Rothwell. I honestly think one of them's going to end up in 10. You know, I really do. I really, really do. When Ampadu's back, I can just see it happening. Because let's be fair, we always go on about January, but even for a 10 in January, which we probably are, we're not going to go out on 1st of January and bring a 10 in. It's going to be last week of January. So you've still got, 5 games this month? And then probably another 5 in January before we even look at it. So you're talking another 8 to 10 games, say, before we potentially bring in a player. If we do it all. In that 8 to 10 games, Ampadu's at least match fit, at least ready to start games, whether he's in the team or not. And after hearing Farker, I think he said he's our most important player. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's what he said. I think you could see him come in for Aronson. I've been thinking it was going to be a Nonto or a Solomon or a Ramazani going into that 10, but it might not be, you know. And I actually think Rothwell might be better at 2. I've heard a lot of people say Tanaka can play in 10. I think he can 100%. I think he'll play anywhere, play in net. He'd do well. But yeah, I think Rothwell is suited to that 10. Honestly, what a player he is. What a player. How mad is it to think if Gruev and Ampadu would have never got injured, we'd have never even seen this side of Rothwell. We'd have probably seen Tanaka. I think Tanaka will probably always forecast to come in and do well. And probably take that shirt off Gruev. We'd have probably never seen Rothwell. Never. I would have never signed Gilavogi. It's mad how from something so negative. I remember how down I was when them two got injured that in the same week, you know, Coventry and Norwich, and you're just thinking, oh my God, like, what are we going to do here? And then look at us now. Unbelievable turn of events. Schmidt hasn't scored. Yeah, I know, but I don't really count Schmidt as a defender, mate. I really don't. Say the main defenders, the main ones have all scored on. I don't think Farkas sees Schmidt as a defender, mate. I really don't. My prediction for Borough is 3-0. Borough. Are you joking, Danny? You think Borough's going to beat us 3-0? Genuinely, that you're not just not wind up. And I know you said that on the Leeds Bros channel that he's going to cup his ear. He ain't gonna do that. If he scored, he wouldn't even celebrate. Danny, he wouldn't. He's a Leeds lad. He'll be coming back for dinners and talks with all Bielsa boys for many years to come. He's going to be talking in pavilion. He's not, mate. He's going to be coming to every game when he retires. I'm telling you now. He will be. He'll be like Beckford. He'll be like Beckford will Lillian. A lot of that side will. A lot of that Bielsa team will. Nah, he ain't gonna do that. 3-0 Leeds amends that cup defeat. Yeah, I think so, mate. Leeds seem to play better against the better teams. Yeah, we do, because it's usually more open, isn't it, Fergal? It's usually more open. Well, we have more ball against these poorer sides, but it's hard to make something happen, isn't it? You know, but I genuinely feel like we could have won that game today with 10 men. I genuinely think we could have won that with 10 men. Be a difficult game against Borough. Take 3 points regardless of performance. Can see a similar result against Borough as what we got last season against Leicester and probably be decided in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, it could be tight. It could be tight. I've tipped 3-1, Danny, but yeah, I could see it being really tight. I think it'll be one like that, where it's 1-1, we'll maybe go 2-1 late on, and then we get that third. I think like Leicester threw out with 3-1, wasn't it? I can see it being like that. No, but I think we get more by them now, mate. We're not. I think they're going to score, and I never tip an opposition to score at Ellen Road, but I think they'll score. Alien's not starting. Is he not? I fight with the captain. Maybe that's a recent thing because I don't tend to look at many teams, mate, until I'm doing like a previous. I'll look at Borough in coming days, but until recently, I thought he was the captain and playing, but that might have changed in the last few weeks. He will against Leeds. You watch, yeah. So, like I say, to touch on today, I thought Melier had nothing to do, obviously. I thought his distribution was a little bit better today. He kept on ground a lot, which is sensible. The bits he had to do, I thought their goalkeeper was absolutely nuts. But I tell you what, you won't see many better saves at Ellen Road this season than what he did for Pirro's shot. That was a hell of a save by their keeper, and he was pouring him. My mate Priestley called him. Said what's he come dressed up like a Peter Cech for? And he literally just looked like Peter Cech. Not even just because that scrum out, whatever it's called, it was just his whole physique, everything about him just looked like Peter Cech from where I was sat. But yeah, he made an outstanding save for Pirro. That should have been 3-0 straight through players' legs, shifted on his right foot, created angle, beautiful shot by Pirro. But yeah, I want to touch on that. What's everyone think about Pirro today? Because I didn't think he played bad. I thought fair enough, he did okay. He didn't really get much of a sniff. That was a beautiful shot, and keeper made a world to save it. But I actually quite like Joseph when he come on. I really did. I like how he was backing into defenders. He were getting into tight situations and winning ball back, winning corners. He were running. He was stretching defense. I thought he played really well. Did Joseph when he came on? Without being brilliant, don't get me wrong, but I felt like today, first time as a sub in recent games where he looked interested again. I feel like he didn't look bothered other game when he came on because Bamford been brought on in front of him. I thought game before that he was a bit iffy. I feel like he'd lost hunger for it for a few games. I thought today when he came on, played really well. Did Joseph? He got stuck in. And yeah, the one occasion where Dan James was coming out right, and I feel like he could have played him in behind, and he tried to whip it across the area, and it went to a corner and sort of came to nothing. But I feel like he looked like he had that hunger back today, did Joseph? Which we need. We need someone pushing Pirro. We don't need Pirro just resting on his laurels. That's his spot now. I sort of feel like that Bamford call in last game what a bit of a psychological thing of Joseph to say, come on, you're falling out pecking order. I don't think he actually has fallen down to third choice. I feel like it was more of Farker, man management skills there again, just knowing when to ease off and give someone breathing space and knowing when to put that pressure on them and just say, hey, hold up, you're slipping a bit here. And I feel like, that could have worked wonders. Has he not, mate? Fair enough. The keeper had skull cap on because of his 2p in the wind. Manor Solomon barely assist or scores compared to what he did at Fulham. Yeah, he had a really good shot today, though. He almost scored, didn't he, today, mate? Really good shot, shifted onto his right foot. They're the kind of goals and chances that he used to have at Fulham a lot. He's known for them. That's what I'm expecting him to bury a couple of them this season. That just whistled to right at post, but I thought he played all right. I thought the first 20 minutes he was a bit off it. I grew into the game, and I'm really liking Manor Solomon at the minute. I really am. I feel like he's. You got to think as well. A bit of an adjustment period there as well. He's got Firpo, and Firpo didn't look brilliant that opening spell before he got injured, and then it's changed. He's got Wober, so he's having to play with a new partner outside of him, and a totally different one, probably one they've not really worked on that much. But I do like what I'm seeing from him. I do feel like he's worth his place, and I don't think anyone can argue with any of four wingers playing. You could argue Solomon and James are the reserve two or the second choice to potentially a Ramazani and Nonto. But to me, based on form, I think Solomon and James are probably better at two, only because Ramazani's been out. But I'm looking forward to all four being fully fit and firing, hopefully, for Touchwood for a while, and there ain't any injuries in that area of pitch, because it's scandalous that you can have Solomon and James running at you and then be bringing on people, and Amundsen running around making himself busy, then you can bring on Nonto and Ramazani. It's actually a cheat code. I thought the game passed Pirro by in the first half. Looked okay in the second half. Well, I feel like the first half passed a lot of them by in terms of that first 25 minutes. And then, we get the 2 goals and you sort of forget about it. I feel like we were better in the second half as a collective than we were in the first half, even though we didn't score. Which sounds a bit weird, but I feel like we were all right, like better in the second half than the first half. Watched Burnley, but got bored. Wasn't a great game. Yeah, I was saying, mate. Wasn't a great game at all. Danny, when I saw Bamford warming up first, I thought he goes, Matty going to go. I did, mate. I did. He goes to the toilet a lot of times, Bamford. When you're watching him warm up, he's constantly going to. He goes to the toilet about 3 times a game, and he sprints down. He's obviously got a sprint past the dugout to get to the toilet. And I see him and I'm thinking, oh my God, if he takes his vest off now, I'm going to be fuming. And then he runs past and goes, he's only going for the piss sound. But I had a good game. I thought he had a good game, mate. I did. And that showed it, didn't he? He didn't do what wrong. He played okay. He should have scored, but keep him at a worldy save. And like you say, then when they brought Aronson off, they moved Pirro into 10, which I don't think Pirro in 10 works, but it goes to show that he was having an okay game, a good game. Definitely not a poor game, and he kept him on, and changed position, and he slotted in behind Joseph. But yeah, it's one of them, mate. Earlier in the season, when he didn't score, he tended to have a bad game. I thought he played okay today. I thought he puts himself about a bit, he backs into defender really well, does Pirro, and he's getting better at the linking up play, and the ball doesn't always stick to him. No, it don't. But I feel like he's adapted his game so much. He's probably the most improved player in terms of fitting our system. Not as in technically, you've got people like Dan James, and you've got a lot more players that you'd say have probably improved under Farker. But like in terms of where he was last season to fit in our system, because for me, he didn't look nowhere near it last year in times, and I know he was playing in 10 and then they were rotating, and he got a lot of goals still. I feel like he didn't fit the system as much. I feel like he's worked so much in his game. He sort of forced his way into this system now, where really, attribute-wise, Joseph's the man to fit this system for me. He just can't better the chances. But Pirro's been sound this season, mate. He really has. And like I say, I wanted Joseph to play every minute of every game. I tipped him off 20-odd goals this season after pre-season. And I think I jumped too early on that one. And Pirro is the main number 9 now. And I've got my head around that, and I feel like he'll just get from strength to strength. I feel like whoever it is, just stick with it now. What I don't want to see is him start. I know I'm all for rotation. That's fine when there's I won't mind a change on Tuesday. I won't mind a Joseph playing then, and then a Pirro playing. But when it's 2 games in a week, or when it is 7 or 8 days between games, I do want to see him stick with a striker. And like I said, they tend to swap them on 70 minutes anyway, so you are always sort of keeping one of them fresh. But yeah, I feel like Pirro might be man going forward 100%. And I was happy with his performance today. Pirro is not given the credit he deserves. When you see the shot Aronson took that was blocked, Pirro would have had a tap in if Aronson had some awareness, mate. If Aronson had awareness, Aronson ain't got no awareness. Aronson's like the perfect player off the ball. Yeah, he's really good off the ball. I also think people say about Aronson, like he does stuff other people couldn't do. Like I hear it all the time. Yeah, but look how close he is to that player. Look, he's up that defender's ass as he received ball from keeper. Look how tight he is. Yeah, but anyone could do that. You can't tell me Willie Nonto couldn't do that in 10. You can't tell me Ramazani wouldn't do that. Yeah, but they wouldn't do it as good. Yeah, but maybe not. But then all the stuff Brendan didn't do that good. They'd do better, so it'd level out and probably be a better in terms of output. Because you don't remember how many times Aronson got close to a man game, but you remember how many times he assisted a goal or scored. And I know it's not all about numbers, but I'm annoyed. I'm really annoyed that they haven't tried, one of these higher quality players in 10, because I want to prove a few people wrong that a Nonto, a Ramazani, or a Solomon in 10 would improve his game. I really, 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 really wanted to see that, and I'm not going to see it, am I? We saw today, even when he had an opportunity to bring a Ramazani or a Nonto one into the 10, he dropped Pirro into 10. And yeah, I just, you know what my thoughts are. I thought Melly had a great game, but didn't miss a shot. Mate, Melly in games like that has to keep his concentration till the last kick. We've seen it before, where Sunderland, don't know what else, but yeah, that defensive unit at Ellen Road just keeps him protected for almost the full 90. Very rare. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how much can protect him on Tuesday. I expect he's going to get worked on Tuesday. But yeah, he's concentrating really well. Bless him. There were times today we stood 10, 15 yards outside his area. He hadn't touched ball for 20 minutes. He's just stretching, trying to keep warm. He's literally just doing stretch routines in the middle of the pitch just to keep warm, because he's literally not getting any goal action at all, which I'm sure he's not bothered about. But it was more the old school number 9, scores fair share of goals. and then when it matters, but doesn't contribute in other areas as much as what our strikers do in the modern game. Yeah, 100%, mate. I feel like if Pinto were playing 20 years ago, two up top, and he had a little man outside of him, if Pinto were playing against someone and he had a default outside of him, or a Michael Owen or someone, and he was playing two up top, that it'd be sound money. I feel like he's just, I don't know. It's modern football, and you've got to do it on your own up top now, haven't you? But yeah, it'd be better in a two. I think it's probably just the timing for him. He's having to force his way into the modern game, where he's probably more suited attribute wise to the old fashioned game, in it, which I used to love 4-4-2 and all that. But he's making it work. And it's one of them where people are saying he ain't good enough for Prem. No, he probably isn't. He'll be a bench player if we go up in Prem this season, but for next season. But he's going to give it all he's got, because this will be the biggest club he ever plays for. He's not going to go. I don't think he's going to go on and have a remarkable career outside Leeds United. So he'll make it work, and he is making it work. And fair play to him. I sort of didn't write him off as such, but I fancied Joseph more. And rather than Joseph dropping it, really, he's missed some sitters. But I just say Pinto's won his shirt back, and he hasn't let it go just yet. And it's up to Joseph when he comes on as a sub. He's got to try and do enough in those minutes. So let's be fair. For 6 or 7 games this season in a row, it was Joseph's shirt to lose. And Pinto won that off him by coming on and scoring, coming off a bench and impacting games and winning games for Leeds United. Joseph needs to do that, and that's competition, and we need it. Aye, with my little eye, something beginning with C, champions. Sorry, couldn't find binoculars. Yeah, mate, that one, like I say, we start starting from corners now on a regular basis, Sean, and everyone is fucked. KJ thinks that Pirro and Matteo should play from the start. KJ thinks that Pirro and Matteo should play from the start. Do you agree with them? I have to. What? As in together as a partnership? It depends, because I'm not a massive. I like Aronson, but I'm not in love with Aronson playing. So I wouldn't be bothered if Aronson came out. So then you could try that, couldn't you? I just aren't massive on Pirro in 10. And we don't play with two up top, do we? But me and all the Leeds bros have said for a while, can they make it work together? Because at one point this season, Joseph were playing well and Pirro was scoring off the bench. Now it's probably not as much of a talking point, because people are, Joseph's trying now to win his shirt back. He's going to have to try it a bit harder for me at the minute. But yeah, if they were both firing, there's an argument that, can you get them both playing together? Because you've got the attributes combined make the perfect player, really, for us. But it's split between two men. So yeah, ideally, if you could get them playing together, I'd be all for it. But I don't know in what sort of world that works. Is it Pirro in 10? Do they play with two up top? It's probably never going to happen. But yeah. F the modern game. Football is a simple game being overcomplicated by Pep and others. I can't disagree with you, Sean, either. I can't. Everyone tries to copy Pep blueprint, don't they? Even if they're absolutely turgid at football, like Southampton, and play out at back and do all this when you haven't got the players for it. Evening, Richard. Thanks for popping in, mate. It's better late than never. Better late than never. You haven't missed much. Just this fat lad waffling on. I've got the. Is it the best or the worst Tash in YouTube game? Awful. I sent a little video clip to Joe Wayman. I didn't know it was Ginger. You're Ginger too. I'm like, yeah, not ideal. But yeah, brilliant win today, 3 points. And we move on, don't we? And like we've touched on, that Middlesbrough game's going to be interesting, to say the least. It's going to be a totally different game. I just hope today's not been too easy, where we're going to be caught cold by Middlesbrough, because they're going to come for us. They are going to come for us. Carvery and a pint. Darren messaged me earlier with the thick of his carvery. Yeah, bless him. He's had a hard time with young'uns this week in hospital, and I hope Sam is doing well if you watch his pal anyway. But yeah, he had a nice day on ale planned, didn't he? Going into Dublin for Guinness factory, and then he hadn't been able to do it because of young poorly. So again, yeah, hopefully he's had a good carvery and a good end to his Saturday. Football being ruined by pepperoni, yeah. That Tash has been growing since he was, honestly, mate. It really has. It really has. Just can't grow old. It's one of them, though. I'll grow up one day. But yeah, it's a bit annoying that when the little bit I can grow is ginger. It's not the best. Not against gingers, by the way. It's just not my natural colour. Well, in some areas it is. Get to go. See you later. All these that way. Cheers, Top Banana. You're a legend. Thank you. Take care, mate, and we'll see you on the next one. Final pint tomorrow on my channel. By the way, we've got Evie on tomorrow for the final pint. We've got me, Darren, and Dillo on my channel, but I think we're streaming to both, but on my channel. Originally, yeah, we've got Evie on tomorrow's night, so I can't wait for that. Danny Green, I think there will be some involvement of tactics from the Pep way, but when is the Jose Mourinho was first to change formation from traditional 4-4-2? Yeah, well, to be fair, wasn't he? He was like the Maverick at that time, wasn't he? And he changed it, and everyone sort of followed. It always happens. It comes in cycles, doesn't it? And look at Pep now. He's struggling now, isn't he? He's struggling. But I'll see you later, Paul. Fergal, off topic, what do you think to the new Everton leak, lol? Probably the same as you, pal. I'll piss myself, mate. Yeah. Mad up with that. It's just funny, innit? It's just funny. I don't know. I work in construction. I did a bit of work on Anfield's new stand as well, which were interesting. I just don't know how a job can get, to the point that it's on like that, and it still have problems like that. It happens from time to time. I see it at work sometimes, but the amount of money you spent on that, and for where the project's at currently, and how long's left, and for it to look how it looks and have a problem like that from a bit. Well, I say a bit of rain. It was a lot of rain, but still. In planning stages, it should be, ready for anything, shouldn't it? And let's be fair. When they get relegated in that stadium at some point, they need to be ready for that amount of tears flooding the place anyway, because they had a poor side, mate. Poor side. I've tried arguing with Evie. I lost, so now learn to agree with it. Yeah, 100%, mate. So do I in quality control. Dear Fergal, nice one. Well, I could tell you weren't on that job then, pal, because you might notice that problem. But yeah, it's funny. Great to see Pep and City struggling. You think they will get done with these court cases? No, I don't, mate. Not to the degree they should. No, they'll get away with it. They'll get a slap on wrist or a point. They'll probably get a points deduction in a season where they're not going to win out anyway this season. Do you know what I mean? Imagine that they get a point. Say they get a 9 point points deduction or something like that, but it still keeps them in European places or something. Because let's be fair, they're 7 behind Liverpool now, and they've got a game in hand. That's what will probably happen. Not only Evie or woman, lol. I've worked on construction. I pinched all the materials. Me too. They're cash cow for the Premier, 100%. So yeah, that's my thoughts on today's game. I could waffle on for days, me honestly. I could just read your comments and keep going all night. I'm one of them. I might have to do like a 24-hour stream one day for charity, just because why not? Because I'm an absolute idiot. Danny Green. City will get a fine and points deduction, but not to the level that's they ought to. Yeah, I agree, Danny. Like I say, when you look at it, it should be like a Juventus or a Rangers, shouldn't it? Drop down to bottom division and work your way back up for me. But they bring too much tourism in, too much money, too many eyes on the sport, on the league. So you know how it's going to go. It's only going to go one way, is that, and that's not really affecting them very much, I don't think. But yeah, just to go back to today's game, I thought lineup were right. As I say, in hindsight, I'm sort of looking back now, thinking maybe Firpo shouldn't have played, but maybe I'm wrong with that. Maybe his injury to his hamstring would not to do what he would out for anyway, or what he would have doubted for anyway. But yeah, I think lineup wise, going forward, you're pretty much going to see this now with the wingers just being changed. I think that's the only area. I'd like Alisson to come out. Ain't going to happen though. I know that. I think the only sort of part of the side now you can't call currently is the wingers. I do think Joseph may start some for rotation with Pirlo, but I think going forward it's just the wingers. They're the only two I can't call when you call that. You know that back five. Those two holding until Ampadu's fit, and then it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Is he going to change it up fully and go different formation? Aronson potentially lose his spot there. Keep Rothwell in or Tanaka and put him into 10. Really excited for that. Really excited, and it was really nice to see Ampadu, on bench today. He was never going to get no minutes, no, but what a lift for everyone, and like I say, Tanaka and Rothwell. Rothwell's played outstanding a lot of games, but that was arguably one of his best games as well today. He should have got man at match. Rodon got it. Rothwell were outstanding. What do people think in terms of? Because I've said this before on Joe's show, and Joe dismissed it, saying we need better when we're in Prem. Do you all agree that Rothwell shouldn't be signed? I know we've got a long way to go yet, But Rothwell shouldn't be signed by Leeds if we go up. And I know you can't sign every loan player. Some people just come in and, play that year and then move on. I get that. But I think Rothwell's good enough for Prem. I'm not saying he should start. I mean, let's be fair. It won't starting for us anyway. But surely he's worth going and getting. For money, he ain't going to be much money. I'd love Rothwell. Love Rothwell. Exactly, Sean. Exactly. Perfect squad option. And let's be fair, he'd be willing to do it. He were willing to be a squad option this year. Yeah, I love that. Rothwell on the bench. Yeah, I love that. I love that easy as well. Rothwell needs to be signed. Absolutely love that. He's different gravy at this level, yeah. And, the quality going up, it'll be harder for him, obviously, but he's played in Prem already. He's going to win a promotion with this year, let's be honest. He is. I love that. I remember saying it to Joe over a week, and Joe dismissed it, like, now we need better. But we thought we were getting better before. Went out before him and bought Mark Rocker, Tyler Adams. He's better than both of them. Why ain't he good enough for Prem? Because he's Joe Rothwell. We bought Mark Rocker, he was shit. Tyler Adams, shit. In agreement? We don't have to go to a top league in Europe and buy a player that's played for a top team. It don't mean no. It don't mean no. So I think midfielder-wise, Tanaka, Rothwell, Ampadu, Gruev, even Gilavogi. If we were in Prem now, I wouldn't look at that. I mean, I don't know how they're going to... I ain't got no proof to it. It's just my opinion, and my opinion means fuck all, and I'm probably wrong half the time. But that midfield there, if that were our core in Prem, if we didn't sign another centre mid at all, and we just got brought in Rothwell and kept Gulavogi, and that were our 5 with Charlie Crew at 6 going into Prem, I wouldn't even be moaning about that, I wouldn't be looking in summer going, oh, we need to look at that. If that was our 5 on that first day at Prem, I'd be happy with that. I really would. Maybe I'm deluded with that, but it's the one area of the pitch I ain't bothered for it all. Maybe just like I say, getting Rothwell on a permanent. But I love that you said that. Absolutely love that you've agreed with me on that. What about our number 10 man? That's still for debate. Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know if I'm on final words tomorrow, but we'll see if we are, won't we? See if Joe comes from me, because Aronson won a corner foot goal and then crossed as ball in what led to the second goal. So he'll be giving it big licks, won't he? But I think he said on his match reaction, didn't he? They didn't play great, but he did okay, which I probably agree with. I agree with Sean. Squad option, and also Ampadu could help in defence if necessary, knowing that Rothwell can come in. Also, good. Yeah, good. I'm a big Gruev fan as well. He gets a lot of stick, does Gruev, for not doing no outstanding. Just being steady with him. I really like Gruev. I felt this season he was the better out of the two of him and Ampadu. Ampadu, before he got injured, hadn't played nowhere near his levels of last year. But if I'm honest, in my opinion, for our team, not for certain teams who are bombarded with crosses and stuff, because he ain't the tallest. For our team, the way we play football, I think he's a better centre half than centre mid, but he's going to play in centre mid for us. But I think he can fill in at but he can play both roles to a high level in this league for our side. I think we can see Amps on the bench next season. Don't think he's been bully. A lot of people have said that, A lot of people have said that. I think that's just because this season he hasn't set the world alight, and because we've seen these two come in and do what they've done, he's sort of shone a light on Ampadu, where at periods last season he was his best player, wasn't he? There's no denying he was his best player for long periods last season. He was the one everyone said he can play in Prem. And you forget about it now, don't you? Because it's been a little while since he's hit those heights, and these two have come in and done unbelievable things. But you do forget, Danny, he's a top player. It's just a different kind of player. It's just a different kind of player. He needs just play. For me, it'd be perfect holding just on his own. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, if we can play like a 4-3-3 and let him and Tanaka, but mainly like Ampadu, sit in front of that back four, drop in between centre halves, pick the ball up and go with it, and then let Rothwell and Tanaka play a little bit further forward. That'd be perfect for me. Perfect. He was our best player, but he played centre back then. Yeah, he did, mate. Yeah, he did. He can play centre mid though to a decent level. We're just comparing him now to these two who've just been outstanding, and what we've seen of him in a Leeds shirt in the centre of the park, he hasn't been on the same level as what we've seen from Tanaka and Rothwell. He hasn't, and that's probably down to his profile. He just isn't the same player. But yeah, we saw the best out of Ampadu at centre half, in my opinion. I know you agree with that. I think we need better fullbacks in the Prem though. Pitt will be a great bench option. Sneak a goal in their space. I agree, Danny Amps in Prem Cup later. Yeah, the fullbacks are one, yeah, 100%. 100%. I think they'll go with Bogle. I think we're going to get another left back. I think Bogle will go in as a first choice right back, in Prem. But yeah, I'm not too sure defensively wise if he's going to be that good coming up against some wingers he'll play. But yeah, agree. He might struggle with the captaincy. He needs to focus on his own game. Should have been Stroud from day one. Yeah, Stroud should be captain for me. I know easy thinks Rothwell. But I really like Stroud as captain. I really do. 100%. He's but when Ampadu comes back, he gets captain's armband. Farker's already said it, Annie, but I'd love Stroud to stay captain. Some of them were our best players last year. Yeah, they were our best players, mate, but Ampadu were in conversation, wasn't he? There were long periods of time where Ampadu stood out as well, for different qualities. He was one of the players in that side last year, 3-4 players you'd say he can play in Prem. And for a period of time, he was one of them players. I just think we saw best of him at centre half, but I think people have sort of forgotten how good Ampadu actually is. And, I don't even want him to come in right now. I don't want hope to change, but there is a player there, 100%, and he can play higher than this league for me. Road uncovered Amps a lot of season. Yeah, no, he did, mate. I know. Rothwell is experienced head, and nobody knew about Tanaka until we signed him. Tanaka, big season will come next season once teams have figured out what he's about. Yeah, no, true. It's one of them, innit? It's a bit of an unknown quantity, and I'm glad it was an unknown quantity, because if everyone would have known what we knew, we wouldn't have him, would we? It'd have gone straight to Prem. It's an unusual one because we tried to get in the year before, and I think they pick up an injury or something in training before it was due to come talk to us, and then we ended up getting Kamara, who were on hold, it felt like, all summer, because we were trying to get someone else, then we ended up sticking with Kamara. But if we were looking at Tanaka, then why didn't no one else look even take a punt on him? Like, how bad was the injury he picked up before we signed him in pre-season? Was it a bad one? Was it not? But how lucky are we? I mean, do we think he'll retire at Leeds United? Probably not. We need to be getting up and having a good season and try to build a team around something like that. But if he ever moves on from Leeds United, I mean, we bought him for $3.5 million. Pure profit, pretty much, innit? We're just going to absolutely smash it if he ever leaves Leeds, which I hope he doesn't. But I'm probably got my head around the fact he probably will one day. But yeah, what a player! I don't think we've signed a bad player this season. I really don't. But it's gone brilliantly, and I think patch up that way form. Now we're scoring corners. That's massive. The fact that we've scored corners, that is massive, and it's not just a corner. We had it the other week where we got one as well, and where Pirro scored. It's becoming more regular now because that set piece takers just delivering it at a decent quality, a decent rate, decent percentage. He's getting beating that first man and putting it in mixer. And for me, that's why Rothwell can't be dropped, no matter who's back. It cannot be bad. It cannot be dropped, Rothwell. Have the 49ers signed a bad player yet? I didn't like Kamara. It wasn't bad, but I didn't rate Kamara. But no, I don't feel like they've signed many bad players, to be fair. To be honest, I really don't. Spence. Yeah, Spence didn't work out. It were only a loan, wasn't it? But yeah, Spence. But to be fair, it wasn't a bad signing when we signed him. It just his attitude and stuff, and he's shown again now. He's getting it right at Spurs. He's actually getting. I didn't think he'd even see picture Spurs, but he has seen a little bit in it. Ipswich manager knew about Tanaka. Yeah, he did actually. I've seen an interview where he spoke about him. Yeah, Bogle will be rinsed next season. You could arguably say we need 3 or 4 fullbacks. Yeah. I hope Byram gets a chance, but yeah, you could say, couldn't you say, like, they look at Byram and say he can't play in Prem? That'd be one, which I hope they do give him a chance. But you could say Byram, you could see Firpo go. You could say they need a backup for Bogle. Yeah, you could easily say 3 or 4, mate. You could just in wing back options, 100%. Yeah, you're right there. Kamara was a solid player, mate. They just want my cup of tea. Solid, yeah, didn't do much wrong, but didn't do much. For me, when you're comparing Kamara to who we've got this season, it's night and day. It's chalk and cheese. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you've seen, solid as in didn't really put a foot wrong, but didn't really offer much of a threat going forward. We're okay. I think him and Gruev playing together, one of the main reasons why we didn't really look like scoring from midfield. I mean, these two haven't scored yet from midfield, but I'm sure that'll come. But you can just see difference in quality of what we've got this season to someone like Kamara. But yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of Kamara at all. For me, this was Firpo's last game. Nah, mate. Nah, Firpo play all season, doesn't he? Are you thinking he's injured, he'll lose his spot to a Voba, a Bardem, or a Schmidt and struggle to get back? Is that what you're saying? Hey up, Dan, you alright, mate? Leeds squad is a joke in this league. Nothing other than first place required. Mate, people are saying that second. I get that. They just want to go up, but I want to go up as champions. I ain't even giving up that top spot. We should win this league. We should keep all our experienced players except Bamford. Yeah, and we on that easy, 100%. He's the only one I'd let go out of those players we spoke about. 100%. Agreed, Danny. I do feel Willie is dipping because he gone in January. Who's Willie's dipping? Are you on about you, Sean? Boys. Yeah, so I just bring that back up again. Yeah, 100%, mate. I mean, just saying, Dan earlier, that bench today, have you ever seen a bench as good as that in championship history? That bench is an absolute cheat code. He's got all the tools as Farker to absolutely romp the league. I've been nervous, as you guys know, I spoke about quite a bit about that waveform. You can't go on an unprecedented winning run, any sort of consistency of a decent run like we did last season when you're not winning no away games, that needs to be that's the only thing I'm worried about this season. But in terms of that squad, his own form, there isn't a doubt in my mind with the best side in the league. It's just showing it away from home. Sean and Willie Dipping didn't know you was into stuff like that. Be the best ever champ squad not to win first place if it happens. Yeah, and Leeds love those type of omens, don't they? Leeds love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, it would, mate. It would. So we thought we had best side last year, and you look at it, we had some really, good stars, but there were some good, good sides in there too. Your Leicesters, your Southamptons, your Ipswich, which were a bit of an anomaly, as we know. But this season, we really stand out, don't we? I mean, this squad we've got this year is better than last season. You can argue, would if we had Rutter, would he be still playing now? Yeah, he would. Would Somerville? Yeah, probably would. But in terms of that squad and those options, it's massive. That squad now is better than the side we got relegated with, obviously. Like, that side now probably stays up that year. This side we've got now is really good. Yeah, we need additions for Premier League. Of course we do. I'm not an idiot to think that, but this side's better than the side we got relegated with. I'm going to say, in my opinion, it just is. It's fact. Who's going to buy Bamford? Can't see it happening. He's got to really want to leave, Fergal. Bamford's got to really want to leave. He's got to have a desire to leave. He's got to push it. He's really got to push it. If he puts his feet up and in asked, I don't think he's going to have, 5, 6, 7, 8 clubs banging down his door. I don't. He might only get a couple. There might be ones that he might feel are beneath him. But if he wants football, he's going to have to go get it because he ain't going to get it at Leeds United. And if we go up, we're definitely going to sign another 9. And that would put him 4th choice. We're definitely signing a 9 if we get promoted. When we get promoted. We've won first place trophy already. Let's get the second place trophy. No, mate, first place again. Anyone who's in here, smash a like, please. I don't know how many likes are on it. It doesn't show me on here. But yeah, smash a like, please. And subscribe if you're new here or haven't subscribed at all. What are you doing? Much appreciated. Thank you. It'd be nice to go up as champions, but promotion's a tag. Yeah, I know. Be nice to win the league and be able to celebrate it properly this year, even though it won't feel as sweet as it did last time. It'd be nice to actually be down stadium and celebrate it properly without no worries like we had last time. Let's get the 90-point trophy again, Danny Long. Leeds will have to compensate some of Bamford's contract for him to move. Yeah, 100%. They'll have to do something. Because, like I say, I don't think he's going to have a burning desire to go. Because whenever he leaves to go to from Leeds United, he's going to be a downward step in it in terms of his own career. But if he wants to play football, he'll have to do it. I don't think he goes anywhere other than a loan. I think they might loan him for last year of his contract. That's what I see. I was thinking yesterday that nobody ever puts up a through ball to Pirro when we ever see him go 1-on-1. Bet his leaflet. Yeah, that's a good fact, mate. I mean, he hasn't really got the pace, as he tends to drop short quite a lot. He's not really that kind of player to stand on shoulder at defender and get him behind like a Joseph. That's Joseph's game, really, but we don't tend to do it. It's very rare we put a ball over and put someone clean through. It's very rare. Joseph, I can't remember many since. Joseph had that one against Burnley, didn't he, where he went through and missed it. But yeah, honestly, 1-on-1 with keeper, he'd be lethal. Lever, 100% he'd be lethal. He'd put him away, wouldn't he? His conversion rate, but 1-on-1 with keeper, I would expect would just be phenomenal, mate. He won't miss money. I think Farker's trying to sell Bamford. That's why he appears on the bench. Maybe. Be nice, mate. But I think he goes on loan, me. He's on the bench anyway. Dan, because teams playing out of 4 against Leeds, then rush out if the ball goes wide on the byline. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Danny, just as long as he stays there. Right, guys, I'm going to call it night. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I'll literally come on here, me thinking, right, I'll do a 20-minute, half an hour. And I just get carried away with comments. I love doing lives. I love all you guys coming in and chatting to me. 18 watching now, I'm buzzing. Thank you so much. But yeah, please like the video. Please subscribe. And make sure you've got your notification bell on. Whatever that means, just make sure if there's a bell, you can click it. We're doing the final pint tomorrow with the only Leeds bros. And I don't know the time yet. Oh, you're crying because I'm leaving? Is that what it is, Easy? Later, bro. Later, Mark. But yeah, I don't know the time yet. We tend to work around Joe's show, you know, the final word. So whenever that's on, we'll either be before or after him. We'll bang it on throughout the afternoon, so it'll appear on your list. And yeah, we've got Evie on tomorrow from Discourse of Peacocks. I'm absolutely buzzing that she's going to be on. So yeah, there'll be the 4 of us chatting about more in depth about today's game, and obviously looking forward to the Middlesbrough game. Last few comments before I go. Always happens like that. Quick 20-minute job never ends. Always, mate. I'm shocking at this. Cheers, Matthew. Ooh, he called me Matthew there. Only my mum called me Matthew. Been a great stream as usual. Smash a like and subscribe. Cheers, Danny, mate. You're an absolute legend. Top guy. Ooh, don't leave, Matty. I'm doing the final pint at the moment. Yeah, man. Is it a final pint though, mate? Are you going to bed after this one, or are you just going to keep going and going like me? Say, if I drank like I did streams, I'd just be a forever in pub. Good stuff, Matt. Yeah, so thank you. Like, subscribe, and most importantly, just take care of yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you out next one. Thanks so much. Enjoy your Saturday night and have a great Sunday. Love you all. Cheers, man. Thank you.